So yeah, anime has it figured out. I saw the Chainsaw movie twice, once in English dub, once in Japanese sub, just to kind of get both versions and feel which one I liked more. I really enjoyed both. And I gotta say, what I love about Chainsaw Man, this movie in particular, what this Raise arc does for movie making in general, for filmmaking, but also just for anime shows and how we present our stories to movie theaters, I like that Chainsaw Man isn't doing this unnecessary thing where we're making a movie of a season that's coming out and then we're just going to readapt the season on TV as well, or readapt the movie on TV with pointless filler added in. Instead, what Chainsaw Man is doing is essentially taking an arc from the manga and the show and condensing it. It's not in the show. This arc in the manga is almost a one-to-one translation because there was no need to add stuff that was unneeded for the filler. There's no need to add things that weren't part of the story initially to begin with. And I love that they didn't feel the need to fix something that wasn't broken, but still give it to an audience and satisfy them, but in a theatrical light. That also brings in box office for the movie. I think it's really smart. But what's also on top of that, what's really great is that the fact that Chainsaw Man is a solid movie. Like, I really enjoyed this film. I think it's just a tight, concise narrative. I love emotion. I love great fight scenes. I love great intimate character moments. I love it when a movie can take its time and really build to those action sequences, make them feel earned, make us really endeared to the characters. Chainsaw Man checks all those boxes and then some. This movie is incredible. It's perfectly paced. It's tight. It's character driven. I like that Chainsaw Man is really focused here on developing Denji as a character. Without getting too much into it, Denji in the show Chainsaw Man is someone who is essentially, to keep it as simple as I can, he's being used by the mob, and then he essentially forms a bond with this creature named Pochita. It's a demon kind of thing that essentially adopts his heart and really becomes his heart. So now Denji and this thing, Pochita, are formed into one to become Chainsaw Man. I'm kind of trying to simplify it and not explain too much because the story of Chainsaw Man is fascinating. I really like how this narrative unfolds the character of Denji and makes him complex, but it's also not afraid for you to sit within character flaws, show them as flawed people and why in the world that they are growing up in, being these demon hunters. And I think it's really fun how this movie explores that. I think it does a great job at making every character feel fleshed out in here. This movie in particular, though, is definitely a more simple story for the first half. It's about Denji developing and finding a genuine connection with someone. A lot of Chainsaw Man's story is about Denji trying to form human connection with people. He kind of craves that human connection, and he sees certain, I guess, almost obligatory things as that filler for that emotion that he's not meeting in his life, that thing he's not feeling, that void he wants to fill. And I like that this movie is the first time he kind of gets a glimpse of that actual loving connection with the character Reze. This way this movie unfolds and developing the love between them, I thought was very well done. It felt very authentic. I like that this movie spends time even with characters we don't trust to really develop them. We get a sense of their personality, and it just does them all the better for it. But what's great about Chainsaw Man, this movie does feel like it does hold out on its own. It doesn't feel like it's relying on you to watch the show. I would definitely recommend doing that or reading the manga before going into this film. But I still think Chainsaw Man makes it a compelling narrative with or without the show before and after. It's a concise narrative for a film to adapt. Mainly because the first half of the movie is dedicated to character development, really letting us know Denji and where he is now currently in the story. But it kind of slows down to really spend these intimate moments between Denji and Reze to really develop their connection, really develop what's going on between them. It doesn't feel the same as what the show or the manga has been kind of showing within its story. This feels like, oh, this character actually wants to get to know Denji and see who Denji is as a person. Denji himself not being used to that, it's almost like this uncharted territory for him, and you kind of see how it does throw him for a loop throughout this movie. And this movie does feel earned by the end, where we do see moments where he snaps, and it feels right because he's a character essentially who is people-pleasing everyone, being used. This movie is almost like about his snapping point after feeling something genuine enough to make him realize, no, I'm missing something. But it's all really compelling shit while still being entertaining as hell and really funny. Like, there's some great action in this movie. I think Chainsaw Man has some of the best action all year, hands down. The last half of this movie is so exhilarating. The action sequences do not stop, one after the other, but it's great because we don't lose sight of the characters within that. It still feels earned as a compelling narrative by the end. I really enjoyed the last half of this movie. It is electric. It moves so quick, but I was so engaged. And by the end, it's still able to kind of simmer down and bring it back to emotion, bring it back to character, bring it back to intimacy. Chainsaw Man does a lot right. There's not a lot that... Yeah, I can't think of any flaws, actually, now that I'm actually trying to think about it. I just kind of love this movie. I think if you're looking for a movie that's exciting, if you're looking for a movie that is character-driven, this is it. But also, if you're a fan of Chainsaw Man, if you're a fan of anime, you're going to get satisfied as well. I like that this movie is doing all of it. I think anime, this is the way in, you know? This is the way to bring people to the theater, to bring box office back to the movie theater, to bring box office numbers in. I like that anime is seeing like, hey, even though every big studio out there right now is trying to make their IP a TV show and kind of kill movie theaters in the process of doing that, this one's like, no. We have a movie length worth of an arc. We have a big budget. We might as well make it a spectacle, release it in theaters, bring some box office in. Not only that, you're bringing people into your show. Now people will want to come back for the show, Chainsaw Man, while still making the theater some box office revenue. It's genius. Just don't release this thing in like 2 weeks on Crunchyroll. Give it some time to actually make its revenue back. I love that. Thank you. It kind of makes me think I want to see more of that with TV shows. Hell, if Stranger Things could just do like maybe a premiere in theaters, get some box office revenue there, that's great. Might as well, since everything has to be a TV show now anyway. Make some use out of it, make it an event. I like that Chainsaw Man makes it feel like an event, but not just because of the loud spectacle. There's character backing it up. It really earns its stay as a story in and of its own. Some of the animation in this movie is just, it's jaw-dropping. Like, it is the leaps we have taken in animation alone in the last 10 years alone. It's insane, and Chainsaw Man is such an example of that, like watching it. I didn't get to see Demon Slayer. I'm not into Demon Slayer. I haven't seen the show. But Chainsaw Man was that example for me. I heard Demon Slayer was also a great example for that. With that being said, though, guys, what did you think of Chainsaw Man? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the Reze arc? What's your favorite arc in Chainsaw Man? This review's late. I just haven't had a lot of time on my hands. I'm finally getting acclimated to making videos again. But I really enjoyed Chainsaw Man. Just kind of wanted to gush about it for a second. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please talk about Chainsaw Man with me. What other movies are you excited to see for the rest of the year? Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews, and I will see you next time.